comfortable or trying to take your personality away. That's kind of how the whole of it is. And it's threats. And if we kind of look at some of these, you kind of have to identify, first of all, that there's a whole bunch of types of abuse, and all those types of abuse kind of get wrapped in, starting with the least offensive and going toward the end, which is the hard physical abuse.
Yeah.
Because the abuser will exact only as much abuse as he needs to get that situation changed to his way at that point in time. So, for instance, maybe they're disrespectful to you and to others on a regular basis, and always discouraging or speaking disrespectfully about someone else or to you, or about you to other people.
Yeah.
It might be feigned generosity, where they're trying to buy you for a certain situation. It might be controlling you by telling you that you like to do these types of things, or you want to do these types of things without ever even asking to find out whether you have something else planned, and forcing you to do those types of things. Addictions, people with addictive personalities are often people who are abusers. Someone who's rapidly trying to get you to commit to long-term things that is pushing you into more of a commitment than what you're willing to make at that point, and trying to manipulate and control your daily aspects. Always wanting to know where you are, who are you talking with, not giving you space to be your own person. Those are some of the things that you would look for. And if you're looking for specific topics, my Dating 101 brochure, which is available in my bookstore, actually outlines those, and it outlines a whole bunch of tips. It gives a sample of behaviors and speech patterns that the abuser will work on in your lives, trying to convince you to pull you into that situation. So I have a whole bunch of those that are spelled out in this huge brochure that's for the dating things. So for me, once I was in my abusive relationship, I could look back and I could see these things while I was dating, but I had no clue that they were there. So that's what I'm trying to do, is educate people. Hey, look out for these things, because they might wrap you into it.
What about somebody who's on the outside of the situation looking in, and somebody else sees this? Can you talk?
I can, because there are a lot of times when I'm outside of a situation where I can see that a person is being abused. But in order for a person to escape from the abuse, they have to understand what the abusive situation is and be willing to stand up for that. So my part in that situation, if I can see that someone's in an abusive situation but they don't recognize it, is to maybe provide them with some of the information that says, you know what, this isn't a situation that would be normal, and this isn't a situation that you have to keep withstanding. So it's just educating them as to far as what your situation looks like. And here's another option that is a healthy relationship option. And those healthy relationships are also identified in this brochure on dating. So it will identify some of those types of things. So it looks at both the negative and the positive to encourage people. So that's a good thing. If someone is outside looking in, that you might be able to pass along to someone to help them to see that situation. And then it's just encouraging them and being ready to listen and help them as they have questions along the way in their progress of trying to escape that situation. Because like I said back at the beginning, each situation is different, and there's a safe time to get out, and there's a time when it's not safe to get out. So you've got to find that situation and let the person who's abused kind of move those steps along when they're ready and they feel it's safe.
I see. So they just need guidance to get to that point.
They need guidance to get to that point. Once they've escaped, then that's when they need the protection. So once they're out of that situation, then they need someone to come alongside them that will help them by listening, giving them a shoulder to cry on, giving them a hug and encouragement when they're ready for that. And it may even be giving them a safe place to be, to provide them that protection.
Well, you know something? We're down to our last 3 minutes.
Wow.
Anything you want to share?
I guess the big thing is if you are in an abusive situation, you don't have to stay there. There are safe places and safe ways for you to get out. The safest way locally is just to go to your local police station, go to the nearest hospital, talk with your doctor, and just talk with that medical or that professional person. They can help you with that situation. You don't have to stay and be abused.
Okay. Well, I have to say, ReJoyce, that this has been absolutely fascinating and I think a valuable public service. And I thank you again for coming on.
Thank you.
Well, I'm Steve Seitz, and that wraps it up for this edition of Book Talk. We'll see you again in a few weeks.